everybody. Respected professors on the dais, and my dear friends, and my professor in front of me. Sixth session, so 5 sessions, plenary sessions down the line, and almost 100 papers, and we are here in the 6th plenary. On the very opening day, by the time we were in the 3rd or the 4th session, and Professor Archana and we were sitting beside each other there, and we were wondering what do we say, what do we speak on the last day? Because almost everything that we wanted to talk, we wanted to share with you is being said. And we were very sure that one more day is to go and so many things will be shared tomorrow. So we do not know what to. So we decided that let us divide among ourselves what we should talk. We shouldn't repeat ourselves. But I'm very sorry. There will be some repetition, ma'am. All right, but I'll try not to do. So when we were told about we are going to speak on critical perspectives and AI in media, originally it was supposed to be AI in teaching and learning or something of that sort. And finally, we are talking in terms of academics and critical perspective on AI. So I was wondering, as Professor Panda was introducing me, he told you that we are part of Google News Initiative, where we do use lots of AI tools to what we call fake busting and digital verification, etc. We do a lot of those things. We have been using a lot of those AI tools. We have been using it for almost 5 years now. And when it was these tools were very primitive. But today they are very advanced, and as I am speaking to you, it is getting more and more advanced. By the time I finish, it will have a new version, probably many of those tools. They are evolving so very fast. We have to update ourselves almost every 6 months, almost. So what I thought that since we are going to discuss AI in teaching and learning, so why not do a chota sa exercise? And I did a chota sa exercise. So I sent a very small prompt, very generic prompt. And we'll talk about prompt writing. Ma'am has already touched upon it, but I'll also, if time permits, I'll touch upon it. So I sent a very generic prompt to not a very specific tools, lots of tools ma'am has spoken about, and I have also a list of maybe 100 tools with me. But I'll speak about some of those. So I put it on simple Google's, not Google search. Yeah, when I logged in, search bar comes, and that is Google search bar. I put there, not in any AI tool. I put the prompt was simple, very simple, as I said, very generic. AI in teaching learning process. That's it. And the Cider Fusion, which comes by default, almost anybody who has downloaded that Cider Fusion quickly gave me this, and I'm reading it out to you. Cider Fusion says, automate administrative tasks such as grading and organizing assignments, freeing teachers to focus more on instruction. Furthermore, AI-powered tutoring systems can provide support outside of regular classroom hours, helping students with homework and challenging concepts. And then the disclaimer. However, it's essential to remember to double-check important information and consider ethical implications of AI use in education. Thank God it used the word, please check the ethical aspect. Now, a few key words here, and from there probably I will be able to speak to you. Grading automated. It sounds very nice to say that let AI do all those clerical work for you, all those repetitive work for you, and you focus more on creative work. Now, I was asking myself, is not grading a creative work? Is it repetitive? Unless it's a multiple choice question, closed-ended questionnaire, A, B, C are the choice, A, B, C, D, E are the choices, you can do that. But what about when we are asking students to analyze something? learning outcome or course outcome, the Bloom's taxonomy, if we can talk of level 4 and 5 and 6, when we are asking them to analyze, when we are asking them to compare, when we are asking them to create something, and you are asking me to automate that evaluation. If I automate it, how am I going to see the genius of individuals? So how am I going to see the nuances? We are in the field of media, teaching and practice. How are we going to feel the nuances of the language that we use? And we know the word makes the narrative change, or the words make narrative change. How are we going to see that? So it may give us lots of solutions, but as the theme of this session is, and as our chair and the moderator have already outlined, we need to have that critical thinking. We need to have that questioning all the time. Even if we outsource this evaluation to AI, we need to have the bird's eye view on that. We need to be in control of something, right? So then it says freeing teachers to focus more on instruction. Now, if we are going to focus more on instruction and talking about AI, what are we going to instruct them? AI, as ma'am just told you, and I have also, as I said, a list of 100 tools to help me. What am I going to teach my students? Again, taking from media education, training and practice, the very fundamental, we start with the introduction to print medium, and we say that writing is done in that inverted pyramid style, which ma'am just explained how she refined and finally she got something. What are we going to teach our students? Are we going to teach our students? Should we be teaching our students writing in inverted pyramid, or should we be teaching our students in writing the prompts? I am a little old-fashioned journalist, trained in the old school of journalism, practiced old school of journalism with modern gadgets and technology. I worked normally we don't take organization's name, but I worked in Times of India for 17 years and rose to become an editor there. We are known to incorporate technology, the latest technology. We used to be trained on the latest technology. We used all those technology, but we retained that right of mine or ours of writing what we want to write. Nobody can dictate us, including, you'll be surprised to know, including the publishers can't dictate what has to be written there. People often think that media is, the publishers who have invested heavily influence the content and all. My personal experience, no, nobody. If publishers couldn't influence my writing, do you think I will allow my technology to influence my writing? And hence, here comes our critical understanding of what has to be done in the classroom. So that, because we are teaching our students to go and work, most of the time we are teaching our students to become professionals, not scholars. Some of our students do become scholars, some of them do become teachers and do great job. But primarily, most of the time we want our students to become, good professionals. So we are going to train them for an industry which is using this modern technology. So we must give them an exposure to modern technology, but the fundamental training that I underwent and my teachers underwent, and what I am trying to do with, or my generation is trying to do with the next generation, is that training them in that very fundamental, the very basic, and answering those 5W and H. And as one of my legendary editors, I had the privilege of working with Bachi Karkaria. She was my editor. I hope you read her columns in Times of India. So many years ago, when we were launching Ahmedabad Times, the city-specific supplement of the Times of India. Every city has that, Bombay Times, Pune Times, Bangalore Times. I had the privilege of launching Ahmedabad Times way back in 1997, October 1997, 26th October. I remember the date. It was a great day for us. That time, 1997, she told us, look, 5W and H are important, but Pradeep, in her accent, Parsi accent, she says, Pradeep, we need to add T to it, 5W and H and technology. 2024, it's 30 97, yeah, it's 27 years. And we are saying now technology has become dominant. No, it is not. It was important even then. And we had realized it. And we had started training our people. I was in the industry, so we had started people in my team on that. When you are writing, take care of your technology. Do explain technology. All right. So with, a rather long background to my talk, but here I am. I wrote a couple of points. So how has the knowledge developed? It's very akin, the development of knowledge, or the way we are gathering, making ourselves more and more intelligent it's similar to how human beings have evolved from food gatherer to settlers, and hence growers of food and hoarders of food. That's another debate, how that brought politics in our evolutionary system when we became hoarders of food. So from gatherers of food to growers of food, settlers and growers of food to hoarders of food, and then bringing in innovation so that I can hoard more and more food, so that I have more and more command on the economy, and hence I can control society. So something similar has happened with the knowledge also, the pedagogy also for all of us. So if from what we were in our first day, and which Archana ma'am just gave references to, sorting and searching and sorting. So knowledge has evolved from searching, that is gathering knowledge, to sorting it, holding it in a certain way, or keeping it in brackets in a certain manner. So look at the similarity in how that has, the evolution of human evolution and the knowledge gathering. So my point is that since knowledge industry or the knowledge ecosystem, the way it is developing, and we are training our students in our classroom, or our trainees in the newsroom, or in the creative suite of advertising agency, or in the corporate board room of a corporate communication or a corporate, our syllabus and pedagogy has to be in tune with this evolutionary graph that we have. All right. Now, AI, since day one, we have been listening, so many things are happening, and it is scaring to some of us, and some of us are seeing opportunities. We saw some of the entrepreneurs here on this very days making the best of this opportunity, these opportunities that they have. And some of us becoming very scared, will it take away job? That has been settled now. It is not going to take away job. It will only create jobs for more qualified people, for people who have greater skills and better skills. I think it is pretty settled now. Now, every wave that has come has unsettled the previous wave. Then the printing book or printing press came, the established power structure of the day was scared. And Professor Gupta in his memorial lecture referred to that, how the King of England, and who happened to be the chief of the religious faith that they have, banned reading and writing and expanding Bible. So because they were a little scared of this disruption called book, which was at that point of time Bible. When radio came, people said, now you can listen, who will read? When television came, people said, oh, you can read, you can hear and see who is going to read, who is going to listen to radio. And we have seen that all of them have survived, and almost all of them are doing well. Maybe not as well as they were doing a couple of decades ago, but they are surviving, and rest assured they will survive. Otherwise, radio should have died many decades ago. Theatre should have died many centuries ago, actually. If not many centuries, maybe a century ago when the film came. Theatre should have died. Theatre has been dying for, as they say, for the last 700 years or 800 years or 1,000 years. It will never die. So instead of getting scared of this disruptive technology that is coming our way, we have to make best use of all this. And that's what we have been talking about. While making best use of it, we have to make sure that, again, I'm repeating what others have said, and it's not a new wisdom, that technology can only be your friend, your ally, but can never be your master. And a new term that we just learned, it could be, instead of AI, it could be a GI, genius intern. Genius intern. I just learned that. So we have to make best use of it. If we are not scared, we can harness this technology and we can do the best. Now, very quickly, where all we are doing, what we are doing, this will come from some of the things that I am doing, we are doing, not I, we are doing on my campus. I come from Pandit Deendayal Energy University. It's primarily a technology campus where we do a lot of business and a lot of humanities and social sciences also. So where all we are using it is coming from there. And I left industry about 10 years ago to become a full-time professor. I just said about 10 years ago. I don't know, should I say only 10 years ago or should I say 10 years ago I left the industry. So much has changed. But I'm in touch with my colleagues in my previous organizations, and I keep updating myself what they are doing and how they are doing. What we have realized is that they are doing it, they have a protocol, and they are very serious about that protocol, all the points in those protocols. They will just not allow their people to exceed those protocols. SOPs are ready, you cannot breach those protocols and SOP. Fine, so if they have the SOP, we on our campus also have an SOP which I'm sure will evolve, which become better and more, more user friendly and help us further. So how we are doing, what we are doing, and what we intend to do on our campus. For example, we are, as I said, we are a private university. Admission is a major exercise for us, unlike many state universities. So it all begins with the admission. In my school, my school is known as School of Liberal Studies. We are thankful to God. We get very good applications, lots of rush for those 400 odd seats. We get almost 5 times, 6 times, more than 6 times applications for that. So we are not really worried about how to get and where to get students from. What we are worried about is how to get the best of these students from these 2,500 or 3,000 odd applications. We need those 400 people. How to get the best. So what we are doing now is using AI to sort out our applications. Okay, we are School of Liberal Studies. We are very happy if you have 99 percentile. Welcome. But we are also very happy if you have only 45 percentile, provided you are open to this new pedagogy called liberal studies. If you are open to that, your family is open to that, you are welcome to us. So it helps us sort out all this, because we ask our students, and I'm aware that not every university does it, but that's what we do, and I'm sure many universities must be doing. While with the application, you also have to write an SOP, which is a very standard procedure in Western universities. When you are applying for admission, you have to write a statement of purpose. So we use the AI to sort out these SOPs along with their background, etc. So we get a very good categorization of students. We are able to do that. Now, do you think we are going to go by what AI has given me the output? If I do, then I do it at my own peril. We are not going to stop there. We don't stop there. When the interview comes, when the Viva comes, and every student has to undergo this Viva. It's not that you have to qualify the written test and then come for Viva. No, Viva is an integral part of your admission process. When the Viva is taking place, that output is before us. And we are not going strictly by that output that AI has. AI has only helped us understand this student. Even before that student comes to us, we know a little bit about that student, about the background, about the mental stage that student is, and then one-to-one, that gives us the insight. So we have harnessed technology, but we have retained that human superiority on that. I may take an arrogant view that we humans are better than technology, because technocrats will say that we can always outfox you. But that's another debate, we are not getting into. So this is what so starting from admission, now once they come to the classroom, they come with certain expectation. And what is that expectation? The best of the syllabi, the best of the syllabus delivered by best of the professors. I don't know if we qualify that much, but we try our best. Best of the syllabus, that is to say content, to be delivered by best of the faculty in best of the manners in an easy way. So there again we are trying to do. I remember sometime in 2008 or 9, Professor Biplab Loha Chaudhary, Shanti Niketan was going to celebrate 150 years of birth anniversary of Tagore, and they were compiling a compendium kind of a thing. And one of the things that was there, journalism education in India. I don't remember was it journalism education or mass communication education? So he asked me to write. This is, I'm talking of sometime around 2008-9. Google was there. But journalism education in India, so I thought that, I must see what is happening in India. So how do I know what is being taught and how it is being taught? So I put it on search. I did get a couple of, so when I wrote final chapter, I remember very well, it had only 12 references. Only 12 references because I could get only 12 syllabi on the internet. Rest all a couple of other syllabi physically, that I was in Ahmedabad at that point of time. So physically I could get hold of some of the syllabi, and I analyzed all that, wrote a paper. But today, if I want to do the same exercise, as ma'am was saying, still I can go to search engine, and there are lots of search engines. Ma'am has already spoken to a couple of them, and if need be, I can share with you all. I can go there. The AI will fetch me, I'm sure it will fetch me more than 1,000 syllabi. I'm sure about it. I have not done it. We are going to do it sometime in January, because February we have our board of studies and we have to produce a new syllabus. So it will fetch me thousands of syllabi, and there are tools which can analyze and give me a syllabi ready. Now remember, that time, and this is just about 2008 or 9, so which is about 15, 16 years ago, I had immediate access to only about a dozen syllabi. Today, I have access to 1,000 syllabi. Look at the enrichment. Look at how enriched that syllabi is likely to be, provided I put my human intervention there. I can't only rely on them because, as we all know, AI can hallucinate also. It can make up. But then there are ways of controlling those hallucinations. And who will control that hallucination? We have to control that hallucination. Degree of freedom that you are, temperature as they call it in their language, the temperature that you set, you are going to. So not temperature, if you have 1 to 10, on 1 to 10, 10 is the most creative, and 1 or 0 is not at all creative. You have to be based only on facts. Now, who is going to decide? Should I be creative with my syllabi, or should I be very strict with my syllabi? If I am going to teach civil engineering, I'll put temperature at 0. Please, please, please don't be creative, because otherwise this bridge that I am going to build, my students are going to build, will collapse. The building that my students are going to build will collapse if you are going to be creative. But if I am creating a syllabi for, let us say, advertising, or for that matter, the plain vanilla introduction to print medium, I can have a syllabi, and that temperature can be up to 10. I can be very, very creative with that also. So who is going to do that, and how will I get that idea whether my temperature should be 0 or 1 or 2 or 9 or 10? Who is going to decide, and under what circumstances who is going to decide? So we have to retain that control. And then finally, which I started off with, evaluation. Yes, evaluation, when it comes to multiple choice and all, we can outsource it to AI. But my understanding is that in areas like communication, where so much of creativity and accompanying the creative freedom that comes to these media professionals, if we are to enjoy our creative freedom, then we have to think in terms of not leaving it to AI. Human intervention is needed, and that will do the best job. So these are some of the areas where AI AI is being used, we are using it, and we are training our students to be prepared for the newsroom on day one, assignment one. You are performing, you are not blinking, oh, what to do, what is this AI to do, what has that AI to do. Okay. So the way ma'am conducted an experiment, writing that intro, I did also, I do, all of us, we do a lot of work. We know that students are smarter than, at least I can assure you they are smart. My students are smarter than I am so far as technology is concerned, and in many other areas also they are smarter than I am. So what we do is the way, hide that with white font that it can't read, and then you have 15 references to, what name you said, ma'am? 15 references to? Walter Lippmann, 15 references to Walter Lippmann, the legendary editor of Washington Post, and you catch them. But as she said, we are not in the business of outsmarting them, because I know they are better than I, so there is no point in trying to outsmart them. But what I do for sure is that give them an assignment, make it very clear, please, please, please use AI. Okay? I give them the tools, they know. Most of the students by now, they know the tools. And then you have to bring it now in my classroom, in front of me, you have to give me the critique of what the AI has given you. You have to speak up. Okay? So there comes then students start reflecting on what AI, the output that the AI has given them. Reflection leads to critical questions, critical thinking, classroom interaction, and then look at the way class develops. My God, I am overwhelmed with, I tell you, the students always pleasantly surprise us. And why am I pleasantly surprised? Because I thought that these students are copying from AI. I was underestimating them. And if I had stuck only with, okay, copying them and I'm, dismissing them off, who would have been the loser? Students, no, as I told you, they are smarter than I am. I would have been loser. I would have lost a good bunch of bright students who, for all you know, will go to the industry or go to the academics and do wonders. Right? So this is how we are trying to use AI. And I'm sure many people are using it. They are trying to use AI and inculcating that spirit of questioning, that spirit of free thinking, that spirit of liberal thinking in education. And I'm sure the grounding that they get now is going to stay with them all their lives, and they will build further on that. Thank you very much. Lot of tools I have. I said we can share it at some other time, on some other day, on some other occasions. Thank you very much. We'll take some question answers at the end if time permits. Thank you very much.